Okay, one of the reasons why I want to cover mirror of the Dhamma, okay, you'll find it out afterward for yourself, and including the 32 impurities plus whatever we are going to cover until the end, all this can be found in the mirror of the Dhamma. Now, mirror of the Dhamma in Pali is called Dhamma Dasa. Dhamma plus Adasa become Dhamma Dasa, mirror of the Dhamma. Now, it's found in several areas in the Pitaka. One of them is Dika Nikaya 16, Mahaparinibbana Sutta. But truly, Ananda, is nothing strange that human beings should die. But each time it happens, you should come to the Tathagata to ask the faith of each of those who have died. That is a wariness of fatigue to the Tathagata. Therefore, Ananda, I will teach you a way of knowing the Dhamma called Dhammadasa, mirror of the Dhamma, whereby the Aryan disciple or the noble disciple, if he so wishes, can discern for himself the Buddha Dhamma. Okay, what happens is the monks very often, whenever a brother monk pass away, or even a lay disciple pass away, then the monks or even Ananda will always ask the Buddha, where will that monk or that person, that lay disciple will be reborn in which realm of existence. So, you know that dying is very common. In fact, every day got people die. That's why the Buddha said, nothing strange that human beings should die. All of us will die. Okay, but if every time somebody die, you come and ask me where the person is being reborn, like in Hokkien say, very chuan, the Buddha will be so busy. Okay, so the Buddha taught Ananda, Venerable Ananda, the mirror of the Dhamma, whereby you can check for yourself. Discern for himself means check for yourself. It's a very useful because it teaches us whether we are really practicing the teachings of the Buddha. Are we on the right path or not? So this is what the Buddha taught in several areas of the Pitaka. So one of them is Dika Nikaya 16, and he says, there is no more rebirth for me in hell, nor as an animal, or a ghost, or in any realm of Wu. That means Wu state, Apaya. A stream winner am I, safe from falling into the Wu state, the Apaya. Assured am I, and bound for Nibbana, bound for enlightenment. So in this Dika Nikaya 16, okay, the Buddha taught Venerable Ananda how to check whether you have attained Sotapanna, a stream winner. Because as a stream winner, you will not be reborn below the human realm, there is the Apaya, and you are assured maximum can be less of 7 lifetime to get enlightened. And what is the mirror of the Dhamma by which he can know this? So here Ananda, this Aryan disciple, is possessed of unwavering confidence in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Possessed of morality, there is the Sila, dear to the noble ones, the Aryan disciples, unbroken, without defect, unspotted, without inconsistency, liberating, uncorrupted, and conducive to concentration. Thus, Ananda is the mirror of the Dhamma, whereby the Aryan disciple can discern of himself that there is no more rebirth for me in hell, nor as an animal or a ghost or in any realm of Wu. A stream winner am I, safe from falling into the woeful state. Assured am I, and bound for Nibbana. So, one way to check is the person or you must have unwavering confidence in the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. That's number one. The second most important thing is your sila must be pure. Okay, a pure sila that is dear to the noble ones, unbroken, unspotted, uncorrupted, and conducive to concentration, to samadhi. So Dhammadasa, or mirror of the Dhamma, it denotes a way, a system of self-learning to find out whether we have attained Sotapanna or not. In other words, these four dhammas are the characteristic of a Sotapanna. So, four actually is only two, okay? Unfailing faith in the triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha is considered three. Then virtues that are dear to the noble ones, complete and perfect. Spotless, pure, liberating, praised by the wise, uninfluenced by worldly concern. That means you are not affected by the 8 worldly dhamma, and favorable to samadhi, concentration of the mind. So this is how you check. So actually, only these 4 criteria to check whether one has attained Sotapanna. Of course, when we learn about stages of sainthood, we learn about the factors that have been cut off, right? But here, we are not talking about factors. We are talking about how to check whether we have attained Sotapanna. That means unwavering faith, complete confidence in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, and in the Sangha. So another part of the Pali literature where you can find Dhammadasa, mirror of the Dhamma, is in the Ambalitika Rahulo Wada Sutta. Rahula Wada Sutta at the Bengal Grove. Ampalata is actually Bengal Grove, Bengal Grove of Amber Pāli at Vesali. So Amber Pāli is a very famous courtesan who actually later also got into sainthood. Now, this here, so at this place, this Amber Pāli, Grove of Amber Pāli is donated by the courtesan Amber Pāli to the Buddha. So at this place, the Buddha taught Rahula. So the Buddha asked his son, the time his son was about 7 years old. So he asked, what is the purpose of a mirror, Rahula? So Rahula answered, its purpose is reflection, reverencer. He called the father reverencer. Bante. The purpose of a mirror is to see your face, reflect, see your reflection. Even so, Rahula, a deed is to be done with the body only after repeated reflection. That means whatever you want to do, you have to do it only after reflecting the following things. A deed is to be done with speech only after repeated reflection. A deed is to be done with the mind only after repeated reflection. What do you think a mirror is for, Rahula? So it's found in this sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 61. So in the same way is through whether bodily acts, verbal acts, and mental acts that we perform, they need to be done only after reflecting on them before we act them out, whether physically, verbally, or mentally. So another area where you can find Dhammadasa, mirror of the Dhamma, is Anguttara Nikaya. Anguttara Nikaya is the numerical discourse, book of 10, 10.51. Sajita Sutta, meaning one's own mind. And how is a bhikkhu skilled in the ways of his own mind? So in your own mind, how can one be skillful? It is just as if a woman or a man, whether you are young, youthful, and you're fond of ornaments, who look at her or his facial reflection in a clean, bright mirror or in a bowl of clear water. Because at that time, mirror is not that common. So people check through clear water. They have mirror, but it's not so as common as it is in today. So if they see any dust or blemish or pimples on your face, you will make an effort to remove it. But if they do not see any dust or blemish there, they'll be glad about it. They'll be very happy and their wish fulfilled. So they will think, how fortunate that I'm clean. How fortunate I'm so beautiful. I'm so ugly, whatever it is. So normally, you what you call, you attach to your body, your face, you like yourself, you look at the mirror. People who are ugly normally don't look at the mirror, I'm telling you. So too, self-examination is very helpful for a bhikkhu to grow in wholesome qualities. So you want to grow kusala, guna, or wholesome qualities, we need to always self-examine our mind and see the taints and the asavas and the defilements in our mind, and we need, if it's there, we need to clean it up. If it's wholesome, your mind is wholesome, we should be joyful. So what does it mean to take the Dharma as a mirror? Okay, I think this is very relevant to all of us, lay people. We take the teachings of the Buddha Dhamma, to analyze ourselves, analyze our experiences, so that we can let go. We use them like a raft to cross over the river or the sea until there is neither a near or far shore anymore. In other words, we reach the other shore. Just as a mirror is used to examine one's face, the Dhamma, meaning all Dhammas are Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, are used as a base, as a platform to examine Panchakanda, the 5 aggregates. So we use this mirror to examine, just as we use the mirror to check our face, to examine. So we use the Dhamma. The characteristic of all Dhammas is the Tilakkhana, which we will cover in detail the last session, which is a major topic, where we use it as a platform to examine our Nama Rupa, our Panchakanda, the 5 aggregates. Our 5 aggregates here refer to Nama and Rupa. The Khandas were seen as they really are, as they are hollow, empty, and empty of permanence. There is no Nicca. Permanence means Nicca. So it is Anicca. Happiness, but it is Dukkha. Self, but it is Anatta, non-self. Now for the Putujana, we see our Khandas as Nicca, Sukha, and Atta. Okay, but in reality, it is Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta. So we are always covered by this dust, this veil of moha, this veil of delusion of Nicca, Sukha, and Atta. All factors are eradicated. The mind attained the deathless, or what we call the Amata Dhamma, the deathless Dhamma. When we talk about deathless here means what? Deathless means here literally means cannot die, but it does not mean cannot die. What it means is after your final parinibbana, there is no more rebirth. So when there is no more rebirth, there is no death. Because once there is birth, you will grow up, and then there is decay, you will forsake, and then there's death, and then there's rebirth, there's decay, there's death. And you go round and round in this cycle of samsara. So reflection of Dharma as in a mirror depends on the level of Dharma that we have gained. One may start from 5 precepts. Okay, so as Putujana, as lay disciples, we start with 5 precepts. Make sure that day in, day out, moment to moment, we keep our 5 precepts as pure as it is. And the Buddha also encouraged us, especially on Upasata days, on new moon, full moon, Upasata, to observe the 8 precepts and to emulate the life of an Arahant, although it is only for several hours, for 1 day or even for 2 days. And then we revert back to the 5 precepts, or higher, depending on how much we have dedicated ourselves to observe the Buddha Dhamma. Like for instance, today is the 3rd of December. It's the 3rd day of the noviship program at Samadhi Meditation Center in Pontian, that is being co-organized by our resident monk, Bhante Dhamma and also Mangala Vihara Buddhist Temple in Singapore. We are running a noviship program started on 1st December. So the mirror triggers self-awareness. When you look at the mirror, you become aware of yourself. Oh, I look like that. Sometimes we don't like to look at the mirror, and once in a while we look at the mirror, you cannot recognize yourself. Okay, so mirror is a good metaphor for self-reflection. We use self-reflection as the way to align our daily activities, to align our daily actions with the Buddha Dhamma. So it's very important that we understand the DHAMMＡDＡSA and we align it according to the Buddha Dhamma, and not 1 year in, 1 year out. Now, another important thing is the mirror of the Dhamma is also a manual of Buddhist chanting and devotional texts by Venerable Naranda Thero. Venerable Naranda is a renowned monk. Of course, Bhante has already passed away. And one of the very popular books written by Venerable Naranda is The Teachings of the Buddha. He used in many, many Buddhist society, Venerable Naranda. And he came to Singapore also in the early years. And when he came to Singapore, nobody knows him. But I think he took about 1 or 2 disciples. Even I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of them is Brother Cha, who actually learned under Venerable Naranda. And Brother Cha, I learned under him before. He's a lay person, Brother Cha. And he has also taught Bhante Prago before, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know when, but maybe the time Prago was a lay person. Maybe, yeah, should be lah. But Prago has learned a lot from the meditation center taught by the late Bhante. And of course, another Bhikkhu Kassapa. The name is not the Mahakassapa. This one is formerly Dr. Cassius A. Pira. So this book, Mirror of the Dhamma, is a very popular chanting book. Okay, and it was published as early as 1926. And I found that our MARAÐASATI, from the 32 impurities onwards now until the Tilakkhana, all this can be found in DHAMMADASA chanting and devotional book. They all can be found there. I think I also sent, I'm not sure, I think I also sent a PDF format of the chanting book of Mirror of the Dhamma. The chanting book is called Mirror of the Dhamma. In Mangala Vihara Temple, we have the chanting book called Mirror of the Dhamma, and we have another chanting book called Path of Emancipation. The one that Petalash is using is the Path of Emancipation, right? But in Mirror of the Dhamma is another set of chanting. Now, saṅkhārā bhavana. Bhavana means meditation or contemplation. And saṅkhārā, okay, a very, very important word. Because the next stanza, the chant of Anicca, Vata, Saṅkhārā, we have to understand what is saṅkhārā. Because the word saṅkhārā encapsulates the whole of the Buddha Dhamma. So as an introduction, many yogis and practitioners have difficulty in understand the term saṅkhārā. What is saṅkhārā? So there are many translations in English, like mental fabrications, mental formation, volitional formation, component things, condition phenomena, and so on and so forth. So different authors, they use different English translations, but they all mean the same thing. What do they mean? They mean saṅkhārā. In Pali, there's only one word, saṅkhārā. English, there's so many. And none of them is accurate because in Pali, sometimes there is no English equivalent. So just like the word dukkha. So as such, the Pali or the Pali word, why I put two times Pali? Because you look at the diacritical marks are different. Both can be used. And the good news is I finally managed to get the Pali diacritical marks. So now all my Pali have all the proper diacritical marks. Before this day, I was only partial. And then I need Sumitra to change. And now I got all the marks already. So saṅkhārā is best left, and it is, don't translate. Saṅkhārā can be perceived or understand as a process of dependently arising, meaning that in order to understand what is the meaning of saṅkhārā, we have to understand paticca samuppada, dependent origination, causes and conditions, impermanently appearing phenomena. Everything is in a flux. It keep on changing, flowing in a continuum, non-stop, and disappearing as the process is ultimately ceasing. That is saṅkhārā. Saṅkhārā bhavana. Example, how pretty is a flower in bloom? Yet, the flower will fade away, and in no time, the flower will be wilted and destructed in no time. Why is that so? The reason means the flower, pupa, is a saṅkhārā. It is a conditioned phenomena. That's why it cannot stay as it is. It will change. It will cease. So the flower is a saṅkhārā. That's why the flower, although you see one day you see beautiful, next day rotten already, wilted away. So according to the Buddha, sabbe saṅkhārā anicca, all conditioned phenomena are subject to constant change. All conditioned phenomena. Remember, causes and effect and condition. The right conditions must be there. All things that arise on account of causes are said to be conditioned phenomena or saṅkhārā. So anything that has a cause. Sorry, in Buddhism, we don't say that everything has a cause because there is no original cause, but there are original causes. There are many causes. There's no one cause. Many causes, many effects. Very complicated. Are said to be conditioned phenomena, saṅkhārā. So a very good translation is conditioned phenomena. What kind of phenomena? Physical and mental phenomena. So Anicca is concerned about how resilient a Buddhist can be. Buddhists accept that everything changes. Things are not permanent and everything is temporary. So this is something that is very different from other religious faith. So a good Buddhist who really understands the Buddha Dhamma is a very resilient Buddhist, meaning because he understands that everything is anicca, everything is impermanent. Examples. The Buddha said that those with life belong to 3 groups or categories: human beings, animals, and plants. But plants do not have a mind, vijnana. Example 1, a mango plant which has a life but do not have a mind or vijnana. A mango plant, to grow up, it requires a seed and a host of other conditions or requirements. If the seed is kept on a dry surface, it will never grow. It will dry up and die off. So the seed has to be planted along with other conditions and requirements. So then the main cause, or in Pāli we call hetu, for the plant to grow up is the seed. That is the main cause. But the main cause itself, just by one main cause itself, the seed cannot grow. It needs other conditions or contributing causes like the proper soil, it needs water, it needs sunshine, and so on. So since the mango plant grows because of causes and conditions, it is called a conditioned phenomena. That is the meaning of saṅkhārā. Example 2, a human being. Now, a human being has both life and mind or vijnana. Just now, we got the plant got life but no mind. So how has it come into being? That happens due to causes. Now, Abhidhamma speaks of vijnana or consciousness as that which plants itself, the citta, that plants itself in the womb of the mother. So the vijnana or citta which passes away from one existence to the next is called the Padisandhi citta or the Padisandhi vijnana. That is the rebirth linking consciousness. And this is the link or the bond between one existence and another. Of course, in this birth, the last consciousness is the Chuti Citta. Chuti Citta is the death consciousness. And then once the Chuti Citta arises, you will straight go into the next rebirth by the arising of the Patisandhi Citta. So at this juncture, it has to be understood very clearly that the very same consciousness does not come to the new existence from the previous one. So it doesn't mean that the Chuti Citta go to the next existence, but we name it as Patisandhi Citta. No, that is a wrong understanding. Okay? Wrong. It is only to causes contained in the previous existence that is new appearance is due. That means due to the sensation of the Chuti Citta or the death consciousness, the new relinking consciousness arises because this cause will give effect to the new effect. It is not the same consciousness, neither is it the same person. So this is sometimes called rebirth, but one must be careful when using the term rebirth, because when we say rebirth, that means the person is being born again. But the person being born again is actually not the same person, because a human being can be born as a dog. A human being can be born as a mosquito. So how can a mosquito and the man is the same person? It's not the same person. But because of your karma, it gives rise, because of this cause, it gives rise to another effect. So that's why we got to really understand paticca samuppada. Consciousness continuing in a new formation does not imply the rebirth of a person or self. There is no self, but only a continuum relinking consciousness as mere mind mental energy, changing or moving from one set of aggregates, moving into another set, relative set of aggregates as causes, dependent and impermanent. So even when you give rise to a new set of aggregates, this new set of aggregates is also impermanent. It will still decay and die. Nothing is forever. So Buddhism does not subscribe to the concept of a permanent soul or atta. Atta is soul, permanent soul. What really happens is that accumulation of karma, wholesome and unwholesome, kusala or akusala, collected during samsara, forms an energy. And this energy becomes the potential for a new birth. It becomes the condition and the causes for a new birth to arise. Right? Therefore, for a man to be born, the patisandhi vijnana becomes the main cause. The contributing causes or conditions are the parents' DNA, the parents' contribution, the mother's womb, the necessary nutrients, and so on and so on. So under these causes and conditions, a being conceives. So the man is a conditioned phenomena. So the man is also termed as saṅkhārā, just like the flower. In similar terms, the conditioned nature is common to each and every phenomena in the universe. In other words, all are subject to change, decay, and destruction in flux. In flux means constantly changing, constantly moving in a continuum. All are subject to change, anicca. So when we give birth and decay, you become old, you become sick, and destruction, death, you die. And it does not stop at death. It's a flux. Your death will condition a new rebirth in a new plane. So it's constantly changing. So the mind or Dhamma too is conditioned because it also arises owing to causes and conditions. We should understand there is no body organ which can be identified as a mind. The brain is not the mind. Huh? There are merely a number of states of mind in very rapid succession. So we should understand that both mind and body, nama, rupa, are conditioned phenomena. In the ultimate sense, there exists only ever-changing, keep on changing, non-stop, never stop, physical and mental phenomena. One loses a loved one all of a sudden. What befell the loved one is this very same thing that befalls all conditioned phenomena. This morning, I just attended the passing away of the mom of one of Metalash members. He loses a loved one all of a sudden, and this losing of a loved one happens to all conditioned phenomena. That person was born of conditions. He lived because of conditions. And he or she will pass away also because of condition. Same reason. This is the nature of saṅkhārā, conditioned phenomena. That means we are born because of conditions, and we live because of conditions, and we die because of conditions, and we will be reborn again because of conditions. Saṅkhārā. So in reality, one should not lament or wail over a death, since it is only a general law of nature. It's a law of nature that people will die. Of course, we are putujana. We are worldly beings. So we have feelings. When we lose a dear one, we will lament, definitely. But if even we lament also maybe 1 week, 1 month, and if you have been lamenting over for many years, that means you do not understand the Buddha Dhamma. Because in all throughout the discourse, the Buddha do not support lamentation. That's why at the Pāli Nibbana, the Buddha tell the disciples, do not cry, do not lament over my death. Okay, in fact, we should rejoice because the Buddha has passed into Pāli Nibbana. So just like I shared in my WhatsApp text, because of the passing away of a dear one and the chanting of Anicca, Vata, Saṅkhārā, the Buddha Mahaparinibbana is our role model and should be our inspiration. Understand this right. The Buddha's Mahaparinibbana should be our inspiration and our role model. In other words, we do not aim to die, but we aim to go into Parinibbana. In order to qualify to go into Parinibbana, we got to attain arahantship. That is our final goal, our ultimate goal of all Buddhists. We do not see death as scary, as frightening, but we look forward it. But what is frightening is not death by itself, but what happens after death. What are the good and bad karma that will follow us from life to life? So Buddha has said, Sabbe sakta marisanti. All beings die. It is greed, lobha, and delusion, moha, that are responsible for lamentation. Why we lament? It's because of delusion. We do not understand that it is what we call a Dhamma. It is a Dhamma. It's a nature. Dhamma is also means nature. The way it is. It is attachment, lobha, that make us lament. But however, the Pleasant One has declared that there is only one Dhamma which is unformed and unconditioned. And we call this Dhamma asaṅkhāta dhatu. There's the element of unconditioned. And the element of unconditioned is Nibbana, the unconditioned state of ultimate release from samsara. So all conditioned phenomena are in a constant process of becoming, ceasing, becoming, ceasing. Knowing such can ease the mind into an eventual sense of relief and release. All conditioned things are indeed impermanent, rising and passing away. And when this rising and passing away also ceases, that means this process of arising and passing away, arising and passing, to stop all this arising and passing away. This is the highest peace. This is the highest happiness. This is Nibbana. Saṅkhārā bhavana. Anicca, vata, saṅkhārā. Impermanent indeed are all formations. It's better not to say formations. It's better use the word saṅkhārā. Just now I spent so much time explaining so that all of us can truly, once for all, understand the meaning of saṅkhārā. It's the phrase used in Theravada Buddhist lands to announce the death of a loved one. So you find that Theravadins, whenever anyone died, the first phrase they will put, Anicca, vata, saṅkhārā. In Sri Lanka and other Buddhist countries, it is displayed at funerals, Anicca, vata, saṅkhārā, to emphasize the fleeting nature of life. That is life. That is life. That is nature. But because of the dust in our eyes. We do not see it as nature. We are so attached to the body, we are so attached to our loved ones that we want to live forever. We want our loved ones to live forever. No, that is delusion. The reality in life that the Buddha taught us that we will all die. Our loved one will die, and we will also die. All of us will get old one day. All of us will get sick one day. And the day of reckoning will come. It has a deep meaning and explain why we face dukkha inevitably, because death is inevitable. We generate our future rebirth via our own saṅkhārā, via our own saṅkhārā. The word abhi means new. Because of saṅkhārā, we are facing the vipaka of what of it is in the present moment. But how we react to the saṅkhārā will create what we call abhi-saṅkhārā, or the new saṅkhārā. We condition more and more mental and physical phenomenon to arise and cease. We need to stop creating abhi-saṅkhārā with lobha, dosa, and moha, so that we can attain nibbanic bliss. So what is abhi-saṅkhārā? It is volitional formations or new conditioning. It includes moral and immoral actions, kusala and akusala karma, leading to conditioned existence, which prolong the round of rebirth in samsara. Now, for most of us lay Buddhists, we only look at, we do good things so that we have good rebirth. But that is not the ultimate goal of Buddhists. The ultimate goal of Buddhists is to get out of samsara. Okay, because we have a good rebirth, but we can fall back down again to apaya, you know. So abhi-saṅkhārā mara, there's a term called abhi-saṅkhārā mara. Actually, in Buddhism, there are 5 types of mara. The demon mara, there are 5 types. We have no time to explain the 5 types, but one type of mara is what we call abhi-saṅkhārā mara. Abhi-saṅkhārā, new conditioned phenomena, are the thoughts, our cetana that we create. Then you notice that good and bad, you know, it's both good and bad, no? Not just bad alone, good and bad. And that we have created, all are demons if we fall for them. That means if you are attached to them, if you fall for them, they become demons. So not only the bad cetana, the evil thoughts are demons or mara, but even the good thoughts are also mara. Because when we fall for them, that means we become attached to our good deeds. Although it's good, but it's once we fall for it, we become attached to it, then it becomes a mara, because it is a glue to samsara, a glue to dukkha, from life to life. So anicca vata saṅkhārā upada vaya dhammino. Dhammino means by way of nature. Its nature is this way. It's being chanted at Theravada funerals. So this verse chanted or uttered by Sakka, the king of the Devas, at the Mahaparinibbana of the Buddha. This is to honor the Mahaparinibbana of the Buddha. The king Sakka chanted this verse. It is found in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta in Dikha Nikaya 16, and also in the short sutta Parinibbana Sutta Samyutta Nikaya 6.15. After anicca ends, only then one will see nicca nibbana. Saṅkhārā ends and asaṅkhārā arises. Without seeing anicca, one will never see nibbana. So Anicca vata saṅkhārā, impermanency of life. Jivitang aniyatang, maranang niyatang. Life is uncertain, death is certain.
Anicca vata saṅkhārā, upada vaya dhammino, upajitva nirujjanti, te saṅkhārā pasamo sukho.
Anicca vata saṅkhārā, the impermanency of life. Verse number 1. This is also found in Dhammadasa, or mirror of the Dhamma Parita Chantik. Now, anicca means transient, impermanent, not stable. Vata means certainly, surely, or indeed. Saṅkhārā, we already understand what is saṅkhārā, okay? We don't have to use these English words. Component things, essential conditions, mental coefficients, volitional formation, mental fabrications, and so on. There's so many terms, okay? But so it's better use the word saṅkhārā. So now you really understand the meaning of saṅkhārā. Condition, phenomena is a very good, very close translation. Now, anicca vata saṅkhārā, it means all component things or all conditioned phenomena, all conditioned physical and mental phenomena are indeed transient, okay, impermanent. Upada means rising, coming into existence, birth. Vaya means decay, is the opposite of upada, okay, right? Decay. Dhammino means of the nature of. Dhamma is can also means nature. So dhammino means of the nature. So upada vaya dhammino, they are of the nature of arising and decaying. Who are the they? The they means saṅkhārā. Saṅkhārā has the nature of arising and decaying. Upajati means to be born, to arise. Upajitva means having come into being, having arisen. Nirujjanti means to cease, to vanish, to dissolve, cease to be. Upachitva nirujjanti, having come into being, they cease to be. Tesang means of this. Of this what? Of this process. Upasamo, sensation, relief, calmness. Sukho, bliss, happiness, calmness. Tesang upasamo sukho, the sensation of this process is bliss. So anicca vata saṅkhārā, upada vaya dhammino, upachitva nirujjanti, tesang upasamo sukho. All component things are indeed transient. They are of the nature of arising and decaying. Having come into being, they cease to be. The sensation of this process is bliss. You can actually, try to visualize that it actually talks about birth, aging, and death. And this aging and death is the two signs that the Buddha saw before the Bodhisattva go forth to find the answers, the solution to end dukkha. So you find an old man, aging, you find a sick man, sickness, and you find a dead person, death. And you also find a monk. That means what? There is hope to get out of samsara. So arising, decay, sensation. So life is about being born, getting old and die. Being born, getting old and die. Being born, getting old and die. This is the facts of life. And we have to see it as it is. So impermanent truly are compounded things. That is saṅkhārā, by nature arising and passing away. Having a reason, they are eradicated. Eradicated with what? With insight. Their eradication brings happiness. Ultimate happiness, nibbanic bliss. So by Longpo Subedo, it says, we are transcending this conditioned reign. We are living our everyday of life. We are being conditioned. So you want to transcend this conditioned phenomena. We want to transcend this saṅkhārā by not rejecting saṅkhārā. We cannot reject saṅkhārā because that is the way of the Dhamma, the way of nature. But seeing through it to that ultimate truth, which in Buddhist terms we call the Amata Dhamma, or the deathless Dhamma, where there's no more rebirth. When we let go of this insidious and habitual attachment, which we don't realize, it's become a habit. We are being attached. Insidious, meaning what? Proceeding in a very gradual manner, in a very subtle manner, but with very harmful effects. We don't know. That bring us around samsara again and again and again and again. So when we let go of this insidious, subtle and harmful and habitual attachment to what is born and die, what is this thing that is born and die? We have to let go of this insidious and habitual attachment. Then we begin to realize the deathless, the nibbanic bliss.
Acirang watayang kayo pata vindadisesati Jodo apeta vinyano nirantang wakalinggalang.
Okay, verse 2. So now actually I've classified. Everything is under this anicca, vata, saṅkhārā. Okay, there are 4 verses. Okay, we have finished the first verse. The second verse now. Putti, the word putti. Putti means rotten or putrid, decaying with a repulsive smell. Okay, very stink. It stinks. Gata is another name for kaya or body. So putti kata means stinking body, the body that stinks. Thera means an elder or senior monk who has spent 10 years from Upasampada or higher ordination. Vaktu means a story or ground or field or plot or object. So in Dhammapada 41, the next verse you can find in Dhammapada 41, and it's called the Putti Kata Tisa Thera Vaktu. The story of Tisa, the elder, with a stinking body. So this is a contemplation on death of MARAÐASATI. It's also found in Dhammadasa, or Mirror of the Dhamma Parita Chanting. Acirang. Acirang means not long ago, very recent. Before long. Before long means, very recent means soon. Watayang. Watayang. Here you see the apostrophe, watayang. That means it's a compound of 2 words. Water plus ayang. But you can write water plus apostrophe yang. But some, they never put together, they can join together. Watayang. But if you want, it's better to put the apostrophe so that you know it's a compound word. So water means indeed, surely, certainly. Ayang means this. Kayo means body. So ayang kayo means this body. So acirang wata yang kayo. Before long, indeed, this body. Patavi, apo, water. Patavi, earth. Tejo, heat. Vayo, wind, the four elements. So Patavi is earth, is a nominative case. Pataving is also earth, is accusative case. This is Pali grammar. Adiseti means to lie on. Adisesati means will lie on. So Patavi, Adisesati means will lie on the earth. So Achirang Watayang Kayo Patavi Adisesati. Before long, indeed, this body of ours will lie on the ground, on the earth. Or soon, indeed, soon, certainly, this body of us will lie on the ground, on this earth. That's the meaning. Chudo means discarded, rejected, thrown away, abandoned. Apeti means to go away, to disappear. Apeta is a past participle of apeti, means gone away, rid of, without, bereft of, devoid of, lacking. So vijnano means vijnana is a nominative case. It means consciousness. Apeta vijnano means bereft of consciousness, devoid of consciousness. That means the consciousness has gone off, devoid of consciousness, no more consciousness. So chudo apeta vijnano, discarded, comma, devoid of consciousness. Niratang ver, make of two words. Niratang plus evil. Niratang means useless or worthless. Evil means light. Kanik garang means a rotten log which cannot be used for any purpose. A rotten wood which cannot be used for any purpose. Already rotten, how to use? Niratang va kanigarang, like a useless rotten log. Achirang watayang kayo patawing adisesati chudo apita vijnano niratang va kanikarang. Soon indeed, this body of ours, when the time will come that our consciousness will leave this body, and when it does so, our body will lie on the earth, discarded or abandoned like a useless log. I explained to you where is Dhammapada Atthakatha, a commentary on the Dhammapada. It's a text explaining the occasions on which the Dhammapada verses were uttered. The Atthakatha aids or helps in better understanding of the Dhammapada verse. A considerable number of these background stories are found in various parts of the Pali canon, and some are directly derived from the Jataka commentary. The author who wrote the Dhammapada, the author of the Dhammapada is ascribed to the Buddha himself. Why? Because these verses are authentic utterances of the Buddha. While always the Dhammapada Atthakatha, or the commentary of the Dhammapada, was compiled by Venerable Buddhaghosa in Sri Lanka in the 1st century CE. CE means Common Era. Now, while writing his commentary on Dhammapada, Buddhaghosa asserted that the Pali text before him, the Pali text that he referred to, was consolidated in the first Buddhist council itself after the Buddha's Parinibbana. So some Buddhists, they say, oh, this is a commentary, not the Buddha's words. Okay, but this is not what Buddhaghosa said. Buddhaghosa is a highly respected and renowned commentator. He's a monk, by the way. Some also regard him as an arahant. And he asserted that the things that he compiled was actually consolidated in the first Buddhist council. So when someone says that the commentary is not the words of the Buddha, you are equally saying that Buddhaghosa is lying. Think twice, reflect before we criticize. Atthakatha on Dhammapada, verse 41, chapter 3 on Chittavagga. chapter on the mind or on consciousness. Without the mind, the body is useless. So mind is always our forerunner. That's the first Dhammapada already, verse 1. The mind is our forerunner. Without the mind, the body is useless. So in this, what we call a Putikata Tisa Tera Waktu, the chapter or the story of Tisa, the Tera with a stinking body. So while residing at Jetavana Monastery in Savatthi, the Buddha uttered Dhammapada verse 41 to Tera Tisa. After taking a meditation topic, that means an object of meditation from the Buddha, so Bhante Tisa was diligently practicing meditation. And it was also during this time, he was afflicted with a sickness. Small balls appeared all over his body, and these small balls developed into big sores. When these sores burst, his upper and lower robes became sticky and stained with pus and blood, and his body was stinking. For this reason, he was known as Putikata Tisatera, the elder with a stinking body. Now, the Buddha never failed to survey the world twice a day. Twice a day, number one, during dawn, early in the morning, and another time is normally after the lunch dinner, the Buddha will give a Dhamma talk, a Dhamma sermon. So after the Dhamma sermon, the Buddha will take a short nap, and only a short nap. So after a short nap, Buddha will survey the world the second time. Now, Theratisa appeared within the body Buddha survey at dawn. He saw the sorrowful state of the Thera, who had been abandoned by his resident pupils on account of his stinking body. At the same time, he also knew that Theratisa would soon attain arahanthood. So as such, the Buddha proceeded to the fire shed, which is close to the place where the Bhante was staying. There, the Buddha boiled some water and then go to where the Thera was lying down, took hold of the edge of the bed. It was only until now when the Buddha took hold of the edge, the Buddha actually wanted to carry the bed. It was then only that the resident pupils gathered round the Thera Tisa. They carried Tisa Thera on the bed to the fire room. So the Buddha caused the monks, not direct, not instruct, okay? The Buddha caused the monks, that means the monks, the resident pupils automatic know what to do lah. So they began to wash and dry Tisa's upper and lower robes, while the Buddha bathed Theratisa. The Buddha moistened his body with warm water and bathed him. After the bath, Tisa Thera became fresh in body and mind, and soon developed samadhi, one-pointedness. Standing at the head of the bed, the Buddha told Tisa Thera that when consciousness depart from the body, when the consciousness of Chitta leaves the body will become useless like a rotten log and will be laid on the earth. So the Buddha spoke in verse, Achirang watayang kayo pataving adisesati chudo apita vinyano niratang va kanikarang. Soon, surely, this body, that means our body, devoid of consciousness, or when the consciousness leave our body, it will lie on the earth, discarded like a useless log. So at the end of the discourse, Tisa Thera attained arahantship with analytical insights and soon passed away into parinibbana. The Buddha then directed some bhikkhus to cremate his body and enshrine his relics in the stupa. Today is a very enlightening session. Okay, hopefully all of us understand the meaning of saṅkhārā. And we understand the chant, the Anicca Vata Saṅkhārā chant. And we understand the meaning of this chant. This chant should be our inspiration, because this chant is a tribute to the Mahaparinibbana of the Buddha, and we should be inspired to attain arahantship, maybe not in this life, but in eventual lives, but at least, hopefully, in this life, we can attain Sotapanna, so that one day, we too can be like the Buddha and pass away into Parinibbana and come out of samsara. Slide 31. So on being questioned why Tissa had a stinking body, the Buddha revealed that Tissa, in one of his past life, was a cruel fowler chicken, so, or birds. So after catching the birds, he will break their leg bones and wing bones to prevent the birds from escaping. So for those evil deeds, for these evil deeds, Tissa had a stinking body. Then the Buddha say, because you do not have mother or father who can tend to you, who can take care of you. If you do not tend to each other, to one another, if you do not take care of each other, who will be there to take care of you? And the Buddha mentioned, remember that whoever tends to a sick person tends to me, as it were. That means whoever take care of a sick person is as good as taking care of the Buddha. It's found in this stanza, on this Atthakatha. So, significance of Dhammapada, verse 41. I'm following this format because in the YMBA format, you can understand the Pāli translation of the Dhammapada verse, and then you got to understand the meaning or the story behind the Dhammapada verse, and you got to understand the significance of the Dhammapada verse. So the significance of this verse is, without the mind, the body is useless or worthless. So achirang vata means very soon, without any doubt. So we got to know that the stanza is trying to explain the condition or the nature of this human body that we have. Our body, now that we have our own body, certainly 100% will decay, will get old, will get sick. Chudo means will be thrown aside. However, many friends and relatives or relations love a person when he is alive. When he dies, the body will be thrown away. Of course, nowadays, you don't throw the body, you cremate the body. Niratang kalingarang, the discarded body will lie on the earth like a rotten log. It will be of no use to anyone. Once consciousness is gone, without life, our body is useless. It is worse than a log of wood because the body cannot be put to any use. Even a log of wood could still be made use of in some way. And the fourth significance of this Dhammapada verse is, he who attends on the sick attends of me, the Buddha. So we have learned in detail this Dhammapada verse. Anicca vata saṅkhārā, contemplation on the death of a dear one. Uraga Jataka is found in Jataka 354, and where it touched on the benefits of reflection on death. Also found in DHAMMＡDＡSA, or Bureau of the Dhamma Parita Chanting. Uraga means snake or serpent. It is so named because it is about the death of a family member killed by a poisonous snake in a previous birth of the Buddha. This Uraga Jataka, we have done it before, where in his past life, the Buddha was a farmer. He had a son and he had a wife. So he went farming to plow the land together with the son, and the son was bitten by a poisonous snake and died. And then some of the farmers were on the way back, and then he says for lunch, because normally the wife will send lunch to them, in the fields. So he asked the friend that you pass the message to the wife that today you only send 1 cent. By right, it should be 2 cents. Right? Only the 1 cent. So the message read, the wife sent 1 cent, and the wife understand that you send 1 cent. That means one person has already died for whatever reason. Because death is common, death is a nature of life. And then when they cremate the body, nobody lament, nobody cry. The farmer didn't die, didn't cry, didn't lament, and the mother also didn't lament. So King Saka asked, what are you cremating? What are you burning? Are you barbecue a wild pig or chicken or what? So they answered, no, I'm cremating my son. And then King Saka, then why are you not crying? Why are you not lamenting? And the answer given was, it is the nature of life that what is born must eventually die.
Annabito tato aga, annarunato dito gato, yata gato tata gato, katata paridewana.
So avati means to call, to invite, or to summon. Avato is a past participle of avati. Anabito is actually a variant of the word anavato. An plus avato. So instead of being called, to invite is not called, not summoned, not invited because of an. Tato means from here, from that, thence, therefore, thereupon, towards this place. Agata is a past participle of agachati, means coming. Gachati means go. Go to the Dhamma for gachami. But when we put gachami means come. So aga means as come. Hita means hita is an English word. To this place or to this world. Adapito tato aga means uninvited. He has come hither. Okay, mean uninvited. He or she has come into this world. Meaning that you cannot choose who to be your son or daughter. So uninvited, they come to you. Anuya means permission or sanction. So anujanati means to allow, to give permission, to approve. Anuyata is a past participle of anujanati. Past participle of anujanati. Okay, it means approve, allowed, permitted, or sanctioned. So ananuyato means is made up of two words, an and anuyato. That means it's the opposite. Instead of approve, is without approval, or also means without notice. So ito means from here or from now or hence. Gato is a past participle of agachati, means has gone, has departed, has passed on. So ananuyato ito gato means has gone hence without notice. Next, 37. Yata means as or like, according to, just as in whatever way or even as. Agato means came. Yata plus agato becomes yata gato, means even as he came. Tata, thus, so, in that way, likewise, just so. Gato means has gone or went. Tata gato, just so he went. One who has gone. Go back to one who has gone the way. Remember Tathagata? The Tathagata, the Buddha called himself the Tathagata, one who has gone. So we have learned that, is one of the Sugato. Remember the word Sugato? Gone the right way. This is one of the qualities of the 9 qualities of the Buddha. One of the qualities, Sugato. So Yatagato, Tathagato, even as he came, just so he went. Okay? Tata or Tatra means could there be, or in that place, there. Ka means why. What is the purpose? What then? Paridevana means lamentation, wailing. Tata ka paridevana means what lamentation then could there be? In the Tanti, they put ka data. Actually, should be tata ka paridevana. Okay. Contemplation on the death of a dear one, Uraga Jataka 354, benefits of reflection on death. Anabito tato aga ananuyato ito gato yatagato tatagato tataka paridevana. Uninvited, he has come to this world. He has departed hence without notice. Even as he came, just so he went. What lamentation then could there be? So the significance of verse 3 can be seen in the Sala Sutta, verse 9, discourse on the dark of grief. Yasa magang na janasi, agatasa gatasa va, ube ante asampasang, niratang paridevasi. It is useless lamenting over the dead, since one cannot know one's path as to where he has come from or where he is going to. The past and future lives are unknown. That means whoever comes to become your children or whoever is being reborn, you don't know his past life, where the person comes from. And after the person passed away, you don't know where he's going to be reborn. So because of this unknown, so why are you lamenting? Why is the person lamenting? It's useless, the Buddha said. Sala Sutta verse 10. Parideva Yamano Che Kinchi Datang Udabahe Samuho Hisang Atanang Kairang Chenang Vichakano. If lamenting, one could derive some benefits and heal the mourner's sorrow, then go ahead, the Buddha say, let the wise lament. If by lamentation, you can gain some benefit, go ahead and lament. But the thing is, grieving has no benefit. So when grieving has no benefit and harms the body, why grieve? Next, last slide. So benefits of reflection on death, MARAÐANASATI, as seen in the Uraga Jataka. Just now I explained about the story of the Uraga Jataka, about the farmer. This one, the story is in detail. So for your follow-up reading. And with that, I end my sharing today. And I hope you have learned the mirror of the Dhamma. You have learned the true meaning of the chant, which actually encapsulates the whole of the Buddha's teaching, the Anicca, Vata, Saṅkhārā chant. And the Parinibbāna of the Buddha is our role model, our inspiration, that one day we want to die, in inverted commas, to pass into the Mahaparinibbāna of the Buddha. That is why we celebrate Vesak Day. We not only celebrate the birth of the Bodhisattva, we celebrate also the enlightenment of the Bodhisattva and become a Buddha. And we also rejoice over the Mahaparinibbāna of the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.